Today we're going to look at arrays in the C programming language, and we're going to also incorporate into that for loops, which we went over in the last two tutorials. So let's start off. We'll go Vim, which is my text editor. I'm going to call it code.c, but you can call your code whatever you'd like. I'm going to hit I to go into edit mode in Vim, and then we're going to say pound include stdio.h. So our main little header there that does many of our basic functions. Then we're going to initiate our main loop, which is going to be the main part of our program here. And I like to put my squiggly brackets in there at the beginning so I don't forget to open and close them. Now we're going to create a integer, a variable called I, and we're going to set another one, int, and this one's going to be our array, and it's going to be a, and then we will say that it has a value of 5, so you can have up to 5 things in that array. And now we are going to create each individual array. This is one way of doing it. So I'm going to say a, and then inside the square brackets 0 equals, and I'll just give it a number of 10. And then I'll do the same thing here. I'll say a1 equals 12. I'll say a2 equals 20, and I'll say a3 equals 21. I'm just making up numbers as far as these numbers go. These numbers over here are the telling it which array, basically assigning each array a number. And if you're not familiar with arrays, I'll try to explain that in a moment. And I don't know why I picked 56 there. Okay, so we've got a 0 through 4. So now if we want to print the value of each a out on the screen one line at a time, we're going to say for, so we're going to do a for loop. We'll say I equals 0, and we're going to say that as long as I is less than 5, because there's 5 different A's in the array, and then we're going to say I plus plus, saying that each time I equals 1 more than it did the last time around. So we're adding 1 to it each time around. We'll put in our squiggly brackets here for the for loop, and we'll say to print the output to the screen, so print f, and we'll say %d is the placeholder for our variable there. We'll do \n for new line, and then we'll go that the variable is the a variable, which is our array, and then the a that we want is equal to whatever I is. So let's look over this code real quick. Add our header, our main function here, create our 2 variables, the second one being an array. You can tell that because it's got the bracket there telling how many values are going to be in the array there. And then we set a value for each array, 0 through 4 in this case. Then we're going to start a for loop. We're setting I equal to 0, and then as long as I is less than 5, it's going to do this loop, and each time it does the loop, we're going to add 1 to I. So I's 0, then it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we'll stop there, which is great because that's what we've got up here with our array. And then we're going to print out to the screen the value of a, and then whatever I is. So a0, and then next time around a1, a2, a3. So let's save this file and exit. Then we will g++ code C, which is the name of our code, -o for output, and code will be the name of our program. So then no errors, so we'll do ./code, and there we go. We got 10, 12, 20, 21, 56, which is 10, 12, 20, 21, and 56. So we can come down here and we can add to this. We can say A is now equal to, save that, compile it again since we made changes to the code, /code, and it says A is now 10, A is now 12, A is now 20, 21, and 56. At the same time, we can say a new line. We can show you, to make it a little bit clearer, we can say printf %d \n comma I, and I can actually type in here I is I is. Recompile it, no errors, that's good. Run the code. I is 0, A is now 10. I is 1, A is now 12. I is 2, A is now 20, and so forth, so on. So that is a quick look at one way of doing arrays in the C programming language. I hope you're enjoying these tutorials. I hope you visit filmsbychris.com, and I hope you have a great day.